Hello, my name is Lisa Cato from Crafty Door Creations. Today I am going to be painting a gnome. It's called the Lucky Gnome. I'm going to be painting this on an 11 by 14 canvas. Okay, so I'm actually going to be doing this for a group of kids. So this is something that would be good for kids to do. And also grown-ups would like it too. So I'm just going to show you kind of how I do my process. So first of all, if you're wondering, well, you know, you may not be able to see this because the lines probably are not very, you probably can't see it very well, but it is in there, okay? What I do first to prepare my canvas is because all my parties that I do are always pre-traced. And so I will take the tracer and I will, after I have it printed out, I will take the tracer, and sometimes I have to put it together. They're spliced, so I have to kind of put it together, and it's kind of like doing a puzzle. You put it together and make sure that the lines are pretty well even, and then I put on a piece of carbon paper, and I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. Okay. All right. So here is the carbon paper or graphite. The same thing. Now I have, this looks really, you know, it's very wrinkly. You don't throw it away after you just use it one time. You can use it over and over and over again. I think that particular piece is about 2 years, 2 or 3, maybe longer than that, maybe 4 years old. But anyway, it's pretty old. I have not bought any new graphite paper in several years. So you can use them over and over again. And what I do is I put my carbon paper or graphite paper on top of the canvas. Then I put my tracer on top of that, and then I just take a pencil or a pen. You can use a pencil or a pen. I usually like to use a pencil. I don't know, I like it better than a pen. I used to use an ink pen, but I found that the ink pen sometimes will poke a hole in the tracer. So I like to use a pencil that's not real sharp, because it usually doesn't poke through the tracer. And then I can use my tracer more often. Now, I do have a way to be able to sublimate. If I have a lot of people, 20 or more, I do sublimate it with a sublimation printer. And then I take a heat press and I press the image on top of that. But most of the time, if I just have a small group, I just do this. It's just easier. But anyway, okay, so I thought that I would go ahead and start painting this thing. Okay, so first of all, I wanted to show you what I use to be able to paint a painting. First of all, I usually always have some kind of a, palette. This is a plate, styrofoam plate, and then I have a paper towel to wipe my brush out on. I usually always have like some sort of a thing of water cup of water or something like that. Then the brushes that I usually use about 3 different kinds of brushes. First of all, this is a 1-inch flat tip brush. Okay, then the next kind of brush I use is a round tip brush. And this is usually either a 6 or an 8. You know, they're numbered, but this is what I use. Then I use a small, tiny brush. This is a detail brush. This is going to give, when you're doing the finishing touches, the details, that's the reason why it's called a detail brush. You'll do that. Now you'll need to use your larger brush when you're doing big areas, okay? This 1-inch flat brush is good when you're doing large areas like around the gnome. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to start out with a blue. It's kind of a turquoise blue color. You actually could use any color for the black background. It doesn't really matter, but I am choosing a blue background. Okay, so I'm going to start in. I'm going to kind of wet my brush first and wipe it off. Okay, then I'm going to get a good amount of paint onto my brush, and I'm just going to start painting my background. Okay. Now I may actually, I've got some white over here. I might actually add a little bit of white up to that, to this. I might actually mix in a little bit of white with that. I think that might look better if it's a little bit lighter. Okay. So it's totally up to you what color you want to do your background in, and if you want to add if you want it to be a little bit lighter, you can add a little bit of white to it. If you want your paint to be a little bit darker, add a touch of black to it. You don't want to go you don't want to do a lot of black because black goes a long way. But if you do want a darker, deeper color, you can put some black in there. So I'm just kind of going around here, all the way around my gnome, getting all the background in there. And then when you're doing your background, you can also paint the sides if you want to. Now for some of those, the areas that are small, where the background is going to have to be, I can switch up to a different brush. And you can even turn your painting a different way to get to a different area. Don't feel like you have to be stuck in, you know, painting a certain way. You can always move it around. All right, now I'm going to try to do I'll be doing the sides of this too. Oops, I just slung some paint right there. Well, I'll clean it up. Okay, doing another side here. I'm trying to get all the sides, because it just, when you paint the sides, it looks a lot better if you are wanting to hang it up. But if you don't really care about hanging it up, you don't have to paint the sides. And I think when my kids are doing their painting, we're not gonna worry about painting the sides or anything. Okay, now, I just think it looks better when you paint the sides of it. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and put my brush in this water, and I'm gonna get another brush. I'm gonna get a round brush, because I'm going to try to work with, there's some little, spots that are the background that, are hard to get to with a big flat brush. So I'm going to get in there with this little round brush. Okay, so got that. And then there's another area over here. I'm going to have to turn this around. Okay, oops. And I'm getting paint on my fingers. Now, another good thing to have when you're painting, if you happen to get stuff, I like to use it to get some of the paint off my fingers and stuff, but it's also very good if you make a little mistake, a little boo-boo. Don't worry about it if it's a small, if you get over the line a little bit, don't worry about that. It's just if you make a really big boo-boo and you really need to clean it up, baby wipes work really well, especially before the paint dries. Now, after the paint dries, they don't really work that much. You got to get your mistake. But, it's like, I'm kind of like Bob Ross, it's like there are no mistakes, only happy accidents. So, okay, and I'm going to get right in this little area, because this part right here there's a background right there, and it's going to cover up some of the lines, but don't worry, you'll be able to go over it with the paint. His mustache is going to be painted white and have a little bit of gray in it, and so it's okay if you cover up some of the lines, because you're going to be going right over it. Okay, now I'm going to hit it with the blow dryer for a little bit, because it's really wet and I don't really want to get paint all over my fingers. So I'm going to blow dry it for a little bit. And that way I won't be having paint all over my fingers. Get on the sides too. Okay, I think that's probably good enough. All right, okay. Okay, now gonna turn this around over here, and I still got some paint on me because it was completely dry. That's okay, I'll just wipe it off. Okay, now I'm gonna get me a little bit more white here. Okay. And I love my favorite kind of paints. I know there's lots of different kinds of acrylic paint out there, but my favorite kind is Deco Art. I've just been using it ever since I started painting. Now, years and years ago, I may have used, you know, the apple barrel stuff, Walmart, but I really like using Deco Art. I just think I like it. I like the colors. I just do. That was a little bit lighter, so I'm gonna try to blend that out with that. It doesn't look so. Okay. All right. Okay, so that is pretty much the background. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to turn him around again. Okay, so I'm hoping everybody can see this. Okay. Okay, so now we have his hat to do. We have his face. His face is going to be kind of a beige, peachy color. Of course, you know, there's the shamrocks and then the big one, and then his arms are going to be green. These are his hands, and they're going to be, of course, the peachy color. And okay, so we're gonna do the green areas first. Okay, the hat is black, and we're gonna also blend in a few other colors in his hat. But his hat is black, and we don't want to do black just yet, because black is, you know, is one of those colors that, you know, it's hard to cover up the mistake of a black, you know, because really black is, you know, just one of those colors. It's just basically black is all color, white is no color, but black is all color. So it's harder to cover up black. So we're going to start with our greens first, okay? All right, so we've got two different color greens. One is a light green, okay? Hope you can see that. And then another one is a darker green. This one is called Kelly green. And this one is called Irish moss. Okay, so we're going to start in with his arms and paint his arms in the lighter green, okay? All right, so we're gonna paint his arms, and we can use this, this round brush, okay? Can use the round brush to paint his arms. So we're just gonna go and paint his arms, and let's remember, you can see that line right there. So don't paint over that. Try to stay in that line as much as you can. That way you'll know, because this part right here is part of his beard. Okay, so we're going to be painting that white. So we want to leave that like it is. Okay, just try your best. If you were painting this, you would try your best to stay in the line as much as you could. And if you do happen to get out of the lines, it's okay. It's not a big deal, you know. Just do your best. Now, I don't know whether we'll need to do 2 coats of this or not. We may have to, may need to let it dry and then do another coat. Some colors don't, there are some colors that, you know, just are a little bit more transparent. And this green right here may be one of those colors, because this Irish moss, I'd say it probably has a lot, and I just got my paintbrush right into that paint. Trying to wipe off this brush. I just want to take this brush and go like this over here. Ooh, uh-oh. Now that was quite a bit out of the line, so you see how I made that little mistake, but I can get it right off because I grabbed my baby wipe and I got it off before anything really dried. Okay, so that's pretty good. All right, I'm going to go ahead and use my flat tip brush on this. Now, if you were painting this, you could use whatever brush you feel more comfortable with. I think probably kids would probably feel more comfortable with using the round brush, but it's just up to you. You know, it's up to you what you want to use. I've been painting here for a few years, and when I first started painting, I did not feel comfortable using this big brush a lot of times. I still sometimes I don't. And sometimes I'd rather use a smaller brush, but I've gotten better at it. I think I've kind of learned how to control my brush a little bit better than I used to. Okay, so that's pretty good. All right. Okay. Okay. Now the next part of that lighter green is up there on his hat. The band of his hat. We're going to paint the band of his hat light green. Turn it around because it's easier to get to if I turn it around like this. And, you know, I did not mention that it is now March, so it's a good time to paint the Lucky Gnome. So, yeah. And also, I feel pretty lucky myself because this is my birthday month. So I have a birthday on the 13th of this month. Okay, so we've got the band of the hat done with the light green. Okay, so we're going to let this dry, and I'm going to use a dryer to dry this. And I may put another coat of that light green. I think I will. I probably should have put like a coat of white or something under it, because this light green has some yellow, and if you're working with colors that are yellow to make them stand out, to make them brighter, you would put a coat of yellow underneath. So, but I think 2 coats will be good enough. Because you can kind of see, can you see now that I'm painting? I don't know whether you can see or not, but yeah, okay. Now that you can see that as I'm painting, it's becoming more opaque, and you can't really see through it, okay? So as I'm painting, you can see that it's becoming more not so see-through. And it's because we've added that second coat. That second coat really makes a difference. I think if we had put white under where that green would be, I think that would probably be better, but it's okay. It's okay. 2 coats will be good enough. Oop, there I did it again. I just really got way outside that line there. It's okay. All right. Okay. Try to keep my hair back, because I really should probably tie my hair up whenever I'm doing something like this, because, you know, I don't really want to get paint in my hair. Okay. So I think I really should use something to put my hair up. Okay, we're going to do the band next. Okay. Painting the band. Okay, all right. Get a little bit more on here. Okay, all right, so let's see what we're going to do next. Okay, so next we are going to paint the shamrocks. We're going to paint them in a darker green, okay? Get my brush rinsed out really good. So we're going to paint the shamrocks this Kelly green. Okay, so I'm going to start out with this big shamrock. And then paint the stem of the shamrock. Now, you know, you may think that it looks, you know, fairly basic, you know, and think, oh, you know, but don't worry, we will be adding some details later. Okay, we always do, details are always done, you know, the very last thing. Okay, so we do the details later. Okay, we go in with the details a little bit later. Okay, I think I'm going to use my big flat brush, just kind of straighten out some, smooth out some of these brush strokes. Okay, all right, there we go. Okay, so that, oops. Okay, all right, now we're going to do the smaller, and I'm going to turn him around again, okay, so I can get to this better. We're going to do the smaller shamrock. And I don't know whether you can hear it or not, but I apologize for, I have a neighbor, my neighbor has a, I don't know what he has, some sort of a motorcycle or something, or big huge truck. I think it's like a huge truck, really. It's not a motorcycle. I think it's just a big truck that's very noisy, and he's revving his motor. So if you do hear that, I apologize for that. You know, you might not hear it, but if you do, I do apologize for that. Okay. I don't know why he has to continually rev his motor like that. I don't know. I know he's kind of a young guy, so I think he probably thinks he's being a little bit more manly if he revs his motor, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, okay. So I'm going to turn this around. Now I'm going to get my dryer again. And I'm going to dry this shamrock, both of them. Okay. Okay, that is pretty much it. Now then, okay, let's see, the next thing we need to do, we're going to do is, I believe we're going to do the nose and the mouth and the hands. The face, actually, the face. And also the hands, okay? So we've got this color is called White Peach, and I'm going to shake this up real good because sometimes this tends to get watery if you don't shake it up really good. There we go. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to get my round brush again and try to get all that green off, hopefully. Okay. Now I'm going to get this peachy color, and I'm going to do his nose, around his nose. And I'm going to do his face. And yes, I know his nose and his face are all kind of, you can kind of see that line. You may not be able to on the, you know, what you're watching, but I could kind of see, you know, the lines. But we're going to go back and we're going to put those lines in there after we paint all of this. Now this is his little, kind of his little mouth. So we're going to add his little mouth in here. Okay. All right. Now we're going to do his feet. Or no, hands. That's not feet. These are hands. These are his little hands because these are his arms. So he's holding a shamrock. Okay. You know, one thing I did not do, and I forgot to do this, and because I'm going to try to do this. I have not done a YouTube video in a long time, and I need to get better about doing YouTube videos. You know, I do Facebook Lives, but I just forget about doing YouTube videos. But now that I'm retired, I am retired now, I'm going to try to be better at doing more YouTube videos. So, and I just got a new phone, so I'm sure it has probably a better camera than my old phone did. But I don't really know. We'll see. We'll see how it comes out. Okay, now then, after we've done his hands and his face, we're going to let those dry. I'm going to rinse my brush off and let those dry. Okay, then I think I'm going to go in and I'm going to get these dry because next thing we're going to do is we're going to add in the white for the beard, okay? So we're going to add in the white for the beard, and we don't want that to mix in with that peach color of his nose and face. Okay, so we're going to dry this. Okay. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to get my white here, and I'm going to be painting his mustache and his beard. Okay. All right. Mustache and beard. And I'm going to really clean off my brush real good on my paper towel. Hopefully, because I'm using white. Okay. All right. So I'm going to paint his mustache right here. And I do think I'm going to turn this around a bit so I can see it really well. Let's kind of do a little, this has got a little curve in it. So we're just going to kind of twirl our brush a little bit. Oops, there we go. All right. Now we're going to get the other mustache. I'm going to paint it, and we're going to go in with a little curl. And don't worry if it's not perfect, it's okay. Okay, now we're going to paint his beard, excuse me. We're going to paint his beard. And one thing I have not done yet, I have forgotten to do that. I probably should have done this at the beginning of the video. I'm really bad about this because I have not, just like I said earlier, I'm going to try to be better at doing some YouTube videos. But I haven't done YouTube videos in a while, and I have forgotten. Make sure that you like my video and also subscribe to my video, and hit that bell notification. That way you'll always, be notified whenever I do make a video. And I apologize for not doing that very much. I just, it's just kind of hard to when I'm so busy, either with paint parties or with working. But now that I'm not working, I don't have a very good excuse for that now, do I? Okay, so leave me a comment, because I always like to read comments, and I will respond to you. But drop me a comment below and tell me what kind of video would you like to see? Do you like seeing videos where I'm painting, or would you rather have something else? I mean, if you have any ideas about what you'd like to see as far as art or whatever, just let me know. Okay, so I think I've got his beard pretty well done, or mustache and beard. I think I've got it pretty well done. All right. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get that rinsed out. Okay. Now then, the next thing to do, we're going to let his beard dry. So we're going to let his beard dry. I'm actually going to dry it myself with this little thing. I love this craft tool. You could also use a hair dryer if you want to dry your paintings. You have a dry painting and you want to dry it, you get something, because you know, you want to make sure it's really dry, really good and dry before you start with another, unless the paint is a very similar color, then you don't really have to always wash out your brush. But if you're working with a different color, you don't want that to, smudge into that. Then you want to, you want to make sure you get dry, because the next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be working with doing the hat. Okay, so we're going to start painting the hat. All right, and I'm going to turn him upside down right here, okay? And I'm going to start in with the black, okay? So black, you don't really need a whole lot of it. I'm gonna start in with the black. Okay, I'm gonna get my brush rinsed out pretty good, but it's not gonna really matter if I have a little bit of green in there, because we are actually, after we paint, we're going to be putting some touches of like green and stuff in here. So, don't worry. And plus, black is one of those colors that if you've got, if your brush has a little bit of some other kind of color, it's not going to really matter too much, because that black is going to cover, if you notice, black covers everything. So if you did happen to go over the line a little bit in your background color with the black that was supposed to be for the hat, that's okay, because black is going to cover it. Okay, I think I'm going to use my flat tip brush. This is kind of a big area, so I'm going to use this this bigger brush right here to do his hat. Now you could use whatever brush that you feel the most comfortable using. But right now I'm going to use the big flat tip brush, because it's a big area. So, and if I don't, it's going to take me a lot longer. I will go back and get my other brush and the smaller brush and go in there with those little areas that are smaller. I don't want to, well, you know what, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to go right over that. That's okay. I make a mistake with black. It's not too bad. You can fix it. Okay, I'm going to use my round brush, and I'm going to go over these areas right here. Okay, all right, now this is the brim of his hat, so we're gonna start painting that. Okay. I actually think after this dries, I'm going to do that mustache because I kind of covered that up where his mustache would be. But I think that we can go over that after it dries. Be able to do that. Okay, all right, now while the paint is still kind of wet, we're going to kind of blend in some green into this hat, okay? So I'm not even gonna, I might wipe it off. I'm gonna wipe my brush off, but I'm not going to rinse it. I'm just gonna wipe it off because those colors are gonna blend. So we're just gonna kind of put some of this right in there. Kind of like that. Just kind of let it kind of blend in there. Okay. Put some of that in there. Okay. Maybe a touch of this other green. I don't know. Maybe a touch of this other green. Kind of blend a little bit in there. Okay. All right, okay, rinse it out real good. Now, let me see. Okay, I'm gonna get, actually, what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my black and my white. You know black and white makes what color? Gray. Yes, okay, so we're going to take a little bit of black and some white, and we're going to kind of mix that together to make a gray color. Okay, now, let's see. I'm going to, I don't know whether, yeah, we're going to, actually I think I might want to do that with a detail brush. So I'm going to use my little detail brush, okay, to do, okay, because we're going to outline his mustache. So we're going to go outline his mustache in the gray color that we just mixed up, okay. Give it a good outline. All right. All right, there we go. Okay, and you can kind of smudge that a little bit with some white. Okay. All right, so we're going to give his mustache a good also gonna outline his nose too. All right. Okay, all right. Outline its beard. His beard a good outline. Okay, now I'm gonna wipe this off a little bit. There we go. Oops. I'm gonna go back and do his beard in that white again. Let that dry. All right. I'm gonna go back over that and try to get that a little bit whiter. Hopefully I can, because my brush is pretty. Okay, let's try to get that up. Okay. You know, it's really okay if his beard is a little streaky, because, you know, his beard is not completely white. He's kind of got, you know, streaks of gray in there. So it's okay if it's a little streaky, that's all right. Okay. Now there. Okay, now I want to go back. I want to go back and do a little bit more outlining. Oops, with that gray. All right. Okay. All right. Now, what I want to do, I'm going to get this gray here, and I'm going to put some little wavy lines like that through his mustache. Just put some little squiggles, little wavy lines. It's just some little squiggles, and we're going to do that down on his beard too. Just a few little wavy lines like this. Okay. Okay, all right. Okay, so that's his beard and his mustache. Okay. All right, so now we want to get a little bit of orange because we're gonna outline his nose in a little bit of orange. So we're gonna get that same small brush and we're gonna outline his face and outline his nose. Just like that. Okay. Okay, all right. So now we're also going to outline his arms with this orange. At least part of the way. We're only going to do up to his sleeve, okay? We're not going to outline his sleeve because that's going to be, we're going to do that in black. Good gosh. All right. Okay. All right. Now, let me see. What else do we need to do? Okay. So we need to do some outlining with our black. Okay. So we're going to outline with still using our detail brush. We're going to outline, and when you are doing some outlining, if you'll take your brush and if you'll just kind of twirl it against the edge of your plate, then you'll be able to get a better line. And don't worry if your lines are not perfect, because I guarantee you mine are never perfectly straight. Always get a little shaky, but okay. So we're also going to we're going to do this also. And we're going to do a line where the beard and the sleeve meets. Then you're going to align that sleeve. Okay? All right. And then do this part. And that part. Okay. All right. Now then, well, we've got our black. Okay, now we're also going to outline our shamrocks. Okay, so let's put a line on our shamrocks. we're going to kind of put a little, each one of these shamrocks have sort of a little heart in them. They have kind of a little heart shape, so we're going to draw just a little heart shape inside of it. Okay, just like that. Okay, so here's another one. We're gonna, okay, all right. Now we're going to outline our smaller the shamrock that's on his hat. Give that a good outline. And another, a tip for you, if your paint is getting a little thick, just add some water to your paint for when you're outlining. It will help. It will help a lot if you add a little bit of water to your paints. Your paint will flow much smoother. Okay. All right, so little bitty hearts inside those. Little bitty hearts inside that. Okay, all right. Okay, now let me see what else to do. Okay, we are going to also do this. This is outlined, and let's see, is there anything else that's outlined in black? The hat doesn't really need to be outlined. Okay, so now here is where we're going to add some little details. Okay, so we're going to add the detail in his shirt. I'm going to put a little line, curved line right there. Okay, we're also going to put a little curved line right there in his shirt. Okay, all right. Then, let's see. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna rinse that out. I'll let that dry. I'm gonna dry that. Okay, now we're going to put some white details, just some little squiggly lines in his hat. Just little squiggly lines like this. Okay, and that's in his hat brim. Okay, then we're going to also put some more curved lines like this as accent, and a big curved line for his hand right in here. One right there, one right there. Okay. Also, we want to do some little accents in our shamrock. Okay. Okay. And then do some accents right in here. All right. Let's do some accent in his hat. Okay, we're gonna do like this, and then do like that. Okay. All right. Then we're gonna get some orange. We're gonna do a few orange accents. the shamrock. Okay. Gonna put some orange accents in his hat. We're gonna also, let's see, get some green. Put some green, streaks of green right in here. Okay, all right. All right, we're also going to kind of do some okay. Now, one thing that I need to, we need to do some white accents on his nose. Get a little white accent on his nose so it looks like he's got a little bit of shine on his nose. And then right in here on his cheeks. Okay. All right. Oh, and we need to do a little orange on his nose right there. Okay. All right. Okay, now I do believe that he is done. Okay, so how do you like him? Okay, yeah, it's really cute. Okay, looks just like St. Patrick's Day. All right, so I am going to say goodbye. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope you weren't too bored with watching me how I paint. So yeah, so if you like this video, please subscribe to me, and hopefully I can continue to do more videos like this. If you like this kind of video, just leave me a comment. Say, you know, if you'd rather have me doing something else, then let me know. Okay, bye.